Coming to you from the Black Goat 39 studios, somewhere between Baltimore, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this is the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast, episode 83. Now here's your host, the Guru of Sports. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 83 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. Well, another week, another bad hand at picking those college games. Yeah, the Guru did it again. Yeah, I tell you one thing. I have been really hit with a lot of bad luck when it comes to picking college games. And, I actually had 7 games that I was going to pick. And if I would have won them, it would have gave me about like $1,500. So, but anyway, I look at it this way. You know what? I have fun. I know I take a risk every time I do it, but I like doing it because that's what I do. I like doing it. I like gambling a little bit when I can. All right. Welcome to the podcast. I just want to say thank you again for taking the time out and joining me. And like I usually do, I usually give you all the sports stuff that I know of. And it's my point of view, my take, and this is what I do. That's why it's called the Guru Talkin Sports. And nobody else. But anyway. Now, before I get into everything, I want to let you guys know, and I'm going to remind you once again, that next week I'm going to have 2 podcasts. The first podcast is going to be a very special tribute to October 23rd, 1983. Now, I told you guys if you could, Google that, and I'm giving you a little bit of homework. So you'll know basically a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about on next Saturday. Next Saturday will be the 23rd of October. And like I told you before, I had to go through something with this date, and it'll be with me for the rest of my life. All right, I'm wearing a Sean Taylor jersey today because tomorrow the Washington football team is going to retire Sean Taylor's number 21, which is, I think, is a really good move. Comes kind of quickly because of all the controversy that went on between the Washington football team and John Gruden. I'm not really going to go into it. I just look at it this way. It's very unfortunate. And I can say one thing, that we don't know these people. We really don't know these people. And Gruden has always been a polarizing figure. And a lot of people have been saying that he's been riding off of that Super Bowl win back in 2002 when he beat the Raiders. And, it's unfortunate, but, you make choices and you have to live with the consequences. I tell that to my sons every single day, that, hey, if you make choices like this, you're going to make bad choices. You're going to have to live with the consequences. All right. Now, saying all that, also I want to mention that Louisville, the University of Louisville, is going to retire Lamar Jackson's jersey, which is really cool. The number 8 is going to be retired. And only one other person in the University of Louisville's history is had their number retired, and that's the great Johnny Unitas. I had fortunate time to spend with Johnny Unitas, and talking to him and just being able just to be around him. Very, very good, very nice man. I really appreciate him. If you didn't know, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I did get a chance to have speak to a couple of people in Baltimore that was really, really one of the the famous people from Baltimore. Johnny Unitas, famous athletes from Baltimore that represented Baltimore. Johnny Unitas, Jim Parker, and Brooks Robinson. Frank Robinson as well, but like I told you before, he threw me out of the dugout when we were when the Orioles were playing in Anaheim when he was managing the team. So kind of like a kind of cool, kind of silly story, but it's true. I got thrown out of a dugout when I got a chance to meet a couple guys from the Orioles, and that was kind of crazy story anyway. Now I do want to go into before I get into the bulk of the program, because during the football season it's basically all football. And I go with the college game a little bit because we can't forget what the college teams did, because we got to talk about them as well. College football, pro football. It's October, so you figure, hey, you do got a little bit of baseball and a couple other little things that's going on. Okay, in baseball, I want to say this. Okay, yes. The Giants got robbed. Even though that I am a loyal Dodger fan. That was a bad call. But that's the way it goes. I guess they got kind of like a payback from the shot heard around the world. It took them a long time to really make up for it, but I figure, hey, it was an unfortunate situation, but the Dodgers move on. Now they got to go to Atlanta, and that score right now is 2-2, tied in the third inning, or bottom of the fourth inning. I'm sorry. I was watching a little bit of that. Houston and Boston are playing in the American League Championship Series, and that series is tied up. Boston just won that game. I think it was 9-5 a little bit earlier. Okay, NHL regular season has started. Now, what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks, I'm going to bring in my man, Jeff Duarte. Jeff Duarte is really the best hockey analyst that I've known personally. He's one of the best. And we can go through all the stuff that, is going on in the NHL. And like I said, I haven't really talked about the NHL that much. But I want to say that the Seattle Kraken did get their first win in franchise history. Their first loss came on the opening night against the Vegas Golden Knights. But everyone was talking about the show, the pregame show, which is pretty, spectacular. Vegas is always putting on a really good show out there because, hey, it's show capital of the world, right? Okay, WNBA Finals is still going on. The Chicago Sky is one win away from winning their first WNBA title. I wanted to mention that because, like I told you before, I love the women's game. I love watching them play. They get out there, they hustle, and they play hard. I mean, it's not, everybody will say, it's not the regular, Yeah, but you know what? I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Okay. Next thing I'm going to go to is something called He's a Bad Man. And when I talk about he's a bad man, one person that I always have to bring up, and that's my man, Muhammad Ali. We're going to get a little James Brown today. Okay, I was going to play Muhammad Ali, but it seems like James Brown cut on to it. But anyway, he's a bad man. Believe me, James Brown and Muhammad Ali was bad men. Okay, my bad man of the week was no other than Tom Brady. I'm going to tell you right now, I used to hate Tom Brady. I thought he was arrogant. I thought he was a jerk and all that. But you know what? Tom Brady is really cool. And I really got to know him a little bit better when he sat down at the shop with LeBron and his, he had a couple different people. They always bring in some different people from all over. And I really like that show. The shop is really, really cool. 5 touchdown passes in a 45-17 route over the Miami Dolphins. Tom Brady, I mean, he did really good Thursday night, too. They beat the Eagles Thursday night, and they're off this week because they played the Thursday night game. Tom Brady is just remarkable. I just really, really enjoy watching him play. You know, it's just like any player that you see, you don't realize how great he is until he's left the game. You know, I really didn't like LeBron at first, but now you got to look at it this way. LeBron is really good. I mean, you watch greatness. Michael Jordan was the same way. Kobe was the same way. All these guys, they really have something special. And like I mentioned before, Tom Brady has really something special that, you just have to, you might hate him, but the thing about it is that the man is just great. Wayne Gretzky was the same way. I watched Wayne Gretzky when he was playing. I liked him because he played with my LA Kings. So, Edmonton Oilers, I like him. I think these guys are really, really special. And believe me, you'll recognize their greatness once they left the game. Okay. I know I was supposed to do college rap before he's a bad man, but I'm going to do the college rap right now. Okay. Let's get to the big upsets of the day. Purdue knocked off number 2 Iowa. Iowa's going to drop in the standings, and believe me, that is something remarkable. After they beat Penn State last week, that is going to be a big, big fall in the standings for Iowa. I got a feeling that they might not drop out of the top 10, but I got a feeling that they are going to drop out of the top 5. Now, last week I did mention that Alabama would lose that game. They lost that game, and I did say right on Twitter, right on, and I knew this was going to happen. They're going to drop down to either 4th or 5th. And they dropped down to number 5. But Georgia had no problem winning today. No problem at all. That game was pretty up and down for a little bit. I watched a little bit of it. They had a kind of slow, sluggish start. But then again, they went on and pulled away. They beat them 30-13. LSU picked a really good time to win because I had Florida on my ticket, and that bumped me right off the beginning. Florida lost to LSU, and believe me, Ed Orgeron's seat has been burning for the longest time, and he needed that win because I got a feeling that he's still going to get fired at the end of the season. Oklahoma State beat Texas. Auburn upset Arkansas. Arkansas is still falling in the ranks. They'll be down to probably like the bottom 20s or so. Cincinnati is just remarkable. They'll probably end up being the number 2 team in the country. And I really I got a feeling that Cincinnati is not going to be in the college football playoff, but I really think that they have earned the right to play for a national title. And I I believe in them. I believe in them. Oklahoma State beat Texas. Auburn upset Arkansas, like I mentioned before. Georgia, beat Kentucky. Baylor upset BYU. BYU, 2 straight losses. They're going to be dropping down into the 20s or so. The other night, Oregon beat Cal barely, 24-17. And then you got San Diego State pulled it out in overtime. They beat San Jose State 20-13 or so. Okay. Now, my top 5 this week will probably be Georgia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma. They're still playing right now, but they're winning. They're still kind of like a so-so team to me. I don't know if they're really, really that good or they just really that lucky. I don't know. Alabama is probably going to be number 5 again, but I got Ohio State at number 4. I know that Ohio State's lost 1, and all these other teams, the 3 teams above them, are undefeated, but they earn the right to be 1, 2, and 3. Georgia, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma. Ohio State probably will. Now, I got a feeling that they'll probably be ending 5th. They'll put them 5th because we know how Alabama, their mystique and their tradition and their name will probably bump them up to number 4. They're beating Mississippi State right now, so they'll probably end up number 4. Okay, so much for the college wrap. Like I said, there's still a lot of games going on right now, and I usually wait until about like 11 or so to do this, but I'm getting really tired. I was traveling again this week, and I just got in from Rhode Island earlier, probably about like maybe 10 o'clock this morning, and I've been up, and I usually take a nap before I come and do the podcast, but I ended up just staying up, and I'm really, really tired right now. Okay, like I mentioned before, that you got this Tennessee and Ole Miss game. Ole Miss is holding their own. They're like 13. Now, it's kind of interesting because you got Michigan State that's undefeated at 7-0. Penn State and Ohio State were off this week. Now, I'm going to see where they slot Michigan State. And Michigan as well. Michigan is undefeated. So we're going to see where they slot Michigan State and Michigan. I think they're going to probably be in the top 10. And I know that Ohio State will be there. Penn State will probably drop down a little bit further. But the big upset of the day was Purdue beating Iowa. And Purdue looked like they had no problems beating them 24-7. Like I said before, you got other teams that won. Texas A&M won after they beat Alabama last week. And, the college game, like I said, is very interesting. Now, my bottom 5 teams that are slipping and probably, might be a few of them that's dropping out of the top 25. You got Florida, Texas, Iowa, Arkansas. Arkansas is probably going to be out of the top 25. BYU also, they might be out of the top 25. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the poo-poo of the week, and believe me, the poo-poo of the week has no, they're not, this team and this organization is not familiar, is always synonymous with this poo-poo of the week. All right, poo-poo of the week. I have to give you guys the sounder. Here it is, poo-poo of the week. Okay, poo-poo. Okay, poo-poo of the week. We all know what that was. Okay. Poo-poo of the week is no other than the Jacksonville Jaguars. As a Jaguar fan, it's very hard. It's very hard to root for this team when you consistently do dumb things, or as a lack of better terms, when you do dumb shit. Okay? Why is it that in the second quarter of this game, a touchdown would have put them back into the driver's seat of, being competitive, at least competitive in this game? 4th down and 1 from the goal line. Who do you give the ball to? Either James Robinson or you give it to Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback sneak. No, Urban Meyer decides he wants to give it to his other Ohio State boy. And believe me, I like Ohio State. Don't get me wrong. But Carlos Hyde should not be on the goal line. He should not be a player that's on the goal line when you got James Robinson healthy sitting on the side there. I cannot put my head around it. I cannot understand it. But they deserve, all right. I don't like that word deserve, because the only thing in this life that you deserve is an ass kicking. You earn everything. They earn the right to be the team that they are right now. Very bad and very laughable. Everybody's laughing at this team, believe me. I just cannot understand why Carlos Hyde was the main target and the main option for Urban Meyer to run the ball 1 inch into the end zone. I just don't get it. Trevor Lawrence can do a quarterback sneak. Now, Urban Meyer said something stupid last week about Trevor Lawrence not being able to know how to do a quarterback sneak. And I don't know. It's just, Jacksonville's situation is getting worse and worse by the day. Believe me. So I got to give it to Jacksonville, and I got to give it to all the kickers that missed kicks last week. 24 kicks were missed between extra points and field goals. Mason Crosby, oh man. I do have him on my fantasy team, and I'm surprised that I didn't cut him this week. But Mason Crosby missed like 3. And that game between Cincinnati and Green Bay missed there were 5 missed field goals in the last like 5 or less than 5 minutes, or less than a minute. I'm sorry. Less than a minute. Now, I don't even want to go into all of that because that was just depressing. Guru still has a phone number. Call me, 302-468-7239. 302-468-7239. That's the Guru number. You call me all the time. Okay, the next segment I got is the fantasy pickup. Now, Saquon Barkley is going to be out. So who do you pick up? Devin Booker. All right. He was the number 1 pickup in the league, or in ESPN leagues. Oh man, you know what? It was funny because me and Katie and Guru are playing against each other in fantasy this week. And I was talking a lot of smack. Believe me, I was like running a whole lot of smack. I even sent him some Muhammad Ali emojis saying, I am the greatest, I am the big, I was just, I was just really, really, yipping it up a little bit. But the thing about it is that I was shocked when I heard that my favorite player in the NFL, well, second player, I got a couple favorite players in the NFL, but Nick Chubb is out. So I need to scramble around and grab another running back. So what did I do? Somebody dropped Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard, remember that name? Because Christian McCaffrey is not going to be out. I know that Chuba Hubbard's going to be playing, and he's going to be doing good. But the thing about it is that I also had a choice to pick up Myles Gaskin, because I know Myles Gaskin is probably going to run all over the Jacksonville defense, and Jacksonville's defense can't stop nobody. Derrick Henry had 3 touchdowns on him last week, so figure that's Derrick Henry against the Jaguars. He always have really good games against Jacksonville. Believe me, he does. No doubt. Anyway, Daryl Williams was another big pickup. I told you about him a couple weeks ago. Because of the injury to Montgomery, Daryl Williams is probably going to be your number 1 pickup. And I saw him when they played last week, and he looked pretty good. He ran all over the Raiders, and they, in that win. Khalil Hubbard is another guy that you might want to pick up. He's pretty good. He's like the second guy behind Williams in Chicago. I mean, these 2 guys are going to get the bulk of the carries, so you don't know which one is which. Matt Nagy don't even know how to figure out a quarterback, so we don't know who he's going to pick. Kadarius Toney was pick number 4 because Kenny Golladay for the Giants is not going to play, and they're going to need him against the Rams. They're going to probably end up losing that game anyway. Dallas defense was another big pickup. I saw before I clicked off of that, looking at the pickups and drops and everything, I know that Derek Carr, the Raiders defense, were a lot of different things that they were dropping because of, I guess, all the controversy and mess that was going on in Oakland or in Las Vegas with the Raiders. All right, now it's time. It's time for the big one. I call it a big one because I love doing this segment. It's called The Picks of the Week. And when the picks of the week come in, what do we play? Oh, yeah, the autumn wind. I love that song. I know the Raiders haven't been playing good, but I still love that song. All right, we're going to have to bring it down a little bit. All right, I guess it's going to play out. All right, I guess the autumn wind is going to play out a little bit more, but I got to get to the picks of the week. All right, now, like I told you before, the Guru was perfect last week, like usual. Guru never steer you wrong. He's always perfect, and that's what the Guru does. That's what I am known for. My picks, my undefeated picks of the week, which I always do. Anyway, let's just go right to it. Now, remember, there's an early game, 9:30 from London. Yes, the terrible Miami Dolphins go against the worst team in the league, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I hate to say it, but I can't take Jacksonville anymore this year until they show me something. Miami's a 3-point favorite, and I'm going with Miami. Give me Miami and 3 points. Okay. Minnesota is 2.5-point favorite over Carolina. Carolina is without Christian McCaffrey again. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to probably take Minnesota in this game. Minnesota looks pretty good. Hopefully Dalvin Cook will be back. Now, if Dalvin Cook is back, then I'll have somebody to play on my other team, other fantasy team that's not doing so well. Okay. Los Angeles Chargers are going into Baltimore. Baltimore is a 2.5 point favorite. I think Baltimore might win this game, but I think the Chargers will cover. So give me Baltimore in a 2.5, but I think that the Chargers will cover. So I'm going to go with the Chargers to win this game. And I think they will cover. All right, so give me the Chargers on that one. Green Bay is going into Chicago, and Green Bay is a 6 point favorite. It don't matter. Don't matter. I'm not going to go against Aaron Rodgers ever again, and I never have, and I never will. Give me Green Bay in the 6 points. Los Angeles Rams. Okay, now this game was really, really interesting. When I went to play my bets today, I play my bets every Saturday morning because it depends on if I'm traveling, I'm coming back home. Now this game was not rated where I played it. There was no line on it. Okay, but from what I heard, there was either a 10 point spread, a 9 point spread, and I've seen it on this other site. It's at 8. So wherever it's at, give me the Los Angeles Rams in that game against the Giants. Giants ain't going to win that game anyway. Give me the Los Angeles. Kansas City is a 7 point favorite over Washington. Washington, like I mentioned before, is going to retire Sean Taylor's number before the game, and it doesn't matter. I'm still going to take Kansas City. Kansas City look like they're trying to get themselves together. If they can get that bad defense together, they should be okay. Give me Kansas City. Cincinnati is a 3.5 point favorite over Detroit. It's hard to pick Detroit. Cincinnati lost last week, that heartbreaker when that field goal kicker missed all those field goals and extra points. I still take Cincinnati with the 3 points. Indianapolis is a 10 point favorite over Houston. Yeah, I figure you can't go wrong. Give me Indianapolis on that one. Cleveland is a 3.5 point favorite over Arizona. This is a good one. Arizona is still undefeated. Cleveland will not have my man Nick Chubb. But I still think that they can do it. They can still win that game. Give me Cleveland in 3.5. Now, if you play a game where you score 40 points and no turnovers, I think they can do it again. Baker Mayfield looked pretty decent. So I'm going to go with Cleveland. Dallas is a 3 point favorite going into New England. I think that Dallas is going to win at least by 7. Give me Dallas in that one. Las Vegas is going to Denver. Denver's a 4 point favorite. I'm going to have to go with Denver in this game. I'm sorry. I can't pick the Raiders right now because of all this controversy they done went through. So give me Denver in the 4 points. Seattle is going into Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looked pretty decent last week, but Pittsburgh lost Juju Smith-Schuster. Still doesn't matter. I still think that they can win. Give me Pittsburgh in the 5 points. Monday night is going to be a really, really good game. You got Buffalo going up against Tennessee in Tennessee. Buffalo is a 5 point favorite. They look like the most complete team in the NFL, and I definitely will take Buffalo and the 5.5 points. Okay, this week starts the bye week. San Francisco, Atlanta, New Orleans, and New York Jets are on a bye. So that means that I had Mitchell from San Francisco. I had to replace him. I had Kyle Pitts from Atlanta. I had to replace him. I replaced him with Jared Cook on one of my fantasy teams. The Jets, I had the running back Carter. I had to replace him. I picked up the other kid from Denver, his running back buddy from North Carolina. I picked up Williams I really like Williams. I think Williams is going to be a really, really good running back. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Melvin Gordon. So I took him. Anyway, that's it for the picks. Like I said, Miami, give me Minnesota and a 2.5. I'm taking the Chargers. Give me 2.5 points for the Chargers. Green Bay, I'm going with them. The Rams, I'm going with them. Whatever the line is. Kansas City, I'm going with them. I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm taking Indianapolis. I'm taking Cleveland, Dallas. I'm going with Denver. I'm taking Pittsburgh. And I'm definitely taking Buffalo. All right, so that's it for the picks of the week. We're basically done. I do have taps today. I hate the taps, but I do have to mention that a passing in Major League Baseball. Here's taps. We have to say so long to Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse was a guy that got ran over by Pete Rose in the 1971 All-Star game. And, pretty famous, infamous situation. But he was also a player with the Oakland A's. And he won 2 championships with the A's. I'm going to have to let this play out a little bit. It's always somber to hear taps. Anyway, Ray Fosse was a player, and he played with Cleveland, he played with Oakland, and he won a championship with Oakland. Ray Fosse was also a A's broadcaster, and he served. And he reminds me of that broadcaster like Hawk Harrelson. He reminds me of what's the other guy up in Milwaukee? Bob Uecker. Pretty good, very good announcer. My condolences go out to him and his family. Ray Fosse was 72 years old. 72 years old. Okay. That's it for me. The only thing I got to tell you guys is that, like I said, next week I'm going to have 2 podcasts. I'm going to have the first one is talking about October 23rd, 1983. Like I said, if you get a chance, Google that, find out what it's about, and I will tell you my side of the story next week. And also, I will be back with that'll be episode 84. Episode 85 will be the regular show or regular podcast that I do with sports. All right. Like I said, you guys can follow me on social media. YouTube, I'm at the Guru of Sports Show. Facebook, like I told you before, I got hacked, so I'm down. I'm going to be down for the rest of the week or rest of the month. And I'm working on some new things to try to get that back up and running again. IG, I'm at the Guru OS 39. Gurus 39. Actually, it's called The Gurus. GURUOS. Now, the OS means of sports, okay? Now, I did think about changing my name to Gurus, but I don't know if my parents will be very, very much in favor of it. But I'm old enough to be able to make my own choices and my own decision. So, I don't know. I'm also at Guru's Kids, DAE, Daisy, rest in peace, Alex and Ellie. Gmail is gurusdailyshorts@gmail.com. Twitter, I'm at Goat39. Right, Goaty? Where's Goaty at? Goaty, he's at BlackGoat39. I don't know how many followers you got now or what have you been doing on there, but anyway, that's your thing. Spreaker is the main vessel that we come out of, and they gave me the opportunity to do this podcast. I really appreciate them. So find us on Spotify, Podchasers, iTunes. We're pretty much up there. We pretty much got some pretty good outlets that we're on. Like I said, find us wherever you find our podcast. Rate us 5 stars. Give us 5 stars. Send me your feedback, information, and everything. Let me know how this thing is going. Okay. I'd like to say big props to my man Damian Adams. Appreciate you. Miss Mary Mack Show on Grief. Appreciate you. And my main man Jeff Forte, Cali Sports News. Appreciate you. Thank you. Big props to my hip hop brothers. I appreciate you guys. Big props to my man Kev Ryder. My friend Kate at the gate. I appreciate you. Everything will be all right. Just keep your head up and be strong. I know that you will survive. You will be all right. Okay, my man Rick in Buffalo, Bella B, Jeff in Southland, my Twitter peeps, Alberta Girl 34, that's Lori, appreciate you. My friends, the Illuminati Originals, the DA Illuminati Originals. I always get that messed up. I'm sorry. My crew, Caden Guru, he's my executive producer, board op, and he runs around here and does a lot of nothing. He really wants to get fired, but I'm not going to fire him. I told him he got a lifetime contract. Ray Guru is my musical engineer and technical advisor, musical director, engineer, and technical advisor. Dante Guru is my backup co-host when I need him. He's always there for me, and I really appreciate you, Dante, for stepping up and doing everything that you can to help me out when I need it. Okay. Our motto and saying is that this has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment, 2021, copyright 2021, all rights reserved. Remember, we don't steal from nobody. We always congratulate. We never hate. We always congratulate. And I also had a little rap that I was going to say for at the end of this. Haters may hate, but do what you do and never hesitate. One day they will take the time to be great. Oh, jeez, I messed it up anyway. But anyway, it wasn't something like just do what you do to be great, because one day they'll turn around and congratulate you. Something like that. I know I messed it up. Believe me, I'm not a rapper. I know a couple guys that do rap, but I've been trying to get them on, and hopefully they can get on and they can do a rap for me or whatever. But I appreciate you. Anyway, this is the Guru signing off, and I want to tell you thank you guys. And like I said, listen to my podcast next week, please. It's very interesting. I have a very interesting story to tell. Like I said, this whole month, October, has been really, it's I always get really, really, down in October. But I appreciate you guys for lifting me up and let me being able to talk to you and let me take some of your time. And I really appreciate it. Guru, we'll see you next week. You guys take care. Guru, will see you real soon. Be safe. Have a great one. Enjoy your football Sunday. I'll see you back here next week with 2 times and double up the podcast fun. Guys, take care. Later.